Hello my fellow Retromaniacs and welcome back to Let's Play Activision's Atari 2600 Action Pack for Windows 3.1. Alright, so next one we have Pitfall. Probably the most famous game on this collection, I think, Pitfall. Such an iconic name in video games. Well, I think Kaboom is also very famous, but I think if you ask people to name Atari 2600 games, I think Pitfall probably is at the top of the list. So yeah, I played this alright, so I'm mostly interested in reading the history, interview things here. Let's see what it says. Picture this. You are deep in the recesses of a forbidden jungle, an unforgiving place. Few explorers ever survive. But you've got the courage, because you've with Pitfall Harry, world-famous jungle explorer and fortune hunter extraordinary. Yeah, they could have easily made this Indiana Jones license game. The lure of hidden treasures draws you and Harry deeper and deeper into the bush. Being a great explorer, you wouldn't think of starting such a difficult journey without reading these instructions first, very carefully. The object of this game is to guide Harry through a maze of jungle scenes, jumping over or avoiding many deadly dangers and helping Harry grab the most treasures in the shortest possible time. One-player game, no difficult switches. 255 jungle scenes, 8-bit limit. We'll come back to the starting point. Oh, 32 treasures. That's also like 6 bits. Minutes. Jump over danger, press spacebar. Climb over the ladder, press up or down. Grab swinging vine, press spacebar by running to the left or right. To let go of the vine, press down arrow key at the end of a swing. Just run right over it. Yeah, take that CDI Zelda. You don't have to stab each item, you can just walk over it. Let's play the game. Yes, I think one thing, you lose points from logs, is that Atari 2600 didn't have a good sound card, so it couldn't have background music. So things like Video Game Composer wasn't a thing just yet. You could only be a sound effect composer, and jingle composer, but no. Okay, I sucked. Let's try again. That was miserable. Try. Standing here. Oh, there is. It's very hard to do. Oh, thank you. Put me right past him. It's difficult to jump over things because it's just so limited your jump abilities. Tarzan! Oh, always jump properly. Damn it. Takes 100 points. So these are not like minus levels. You can just decide whether you go left or right. But then you have to like backtrack. Haven't found any secrets yet. That's annoying that you... How do you actually not fall? I have to practice this. Yeah, I always lose points. Okay, you can kind of like I don't really understand how you have to like press diagonally down when you approach the ladder, otherwise you drop. Yeah, I don't know if there was there like a different version that had like sound or music. Like, I think there was like Game Boy. Oh shit! Yeah, there was Game Boy version of this. Maybe it had background music, because this could have like some Indiana Jones music playing in the background. But yeah, let's read the history of this game. David Crane is known as the video game industry's first superstar. He is a pioneer and an innovator of video game technology and is also one of the founders of Activision. His games have a dimension of enthusiasm to them that hooked the majority of the earliest game players. If Academy Awards were given to the creative talent behind video games, then Crane would not only have won his award a long time ago, but he also would have already received his award for lifetime achievement. Yeah. Is there any kind of award these days for video games? Not that I'm aware of, probably, but it's not as prestigious as, you know, Oscars or Emmys, for sure. Yeah, it's still a shame that, you know, many video game designers are quite unknown. Like, I don't know who made Fallout 3 or what other games. I would like Grand Theft Auto 5. Can you even name a single name? Because it's obviously a studio effort, so I guess it's a little bit difficult to like decide who to give the award to. David Crane's Pitfall is one of the few games that represent a milestone in a game playing history. Released in 1982, it only took up less than 4K of memory, but it sold more than 4 million copies, making it the hottest selling Atari 2600 game. Yeah, and in terms of budgets, game budgets, I think these are probably this era was probably one of the best in terms of net or percentage of gain compared to the budget. Like it could cost like $5,000 to create a game, and then it would make $50 million. So yeah. Obviously you need marketing, and that's probably like tenfold of the size of the actual game budget. It was a shot of adrenaline for the Atari 2600 market, and it helped to spawn the game-playing fever of the early 1980s. Crane noted, "When I designed Pitfall, I knew that there was great potential in run and jump and climb adventure games, but the result was beyond any expectations. It sold millions of copies, established a new genre of adventure games, and spawned hundreds of similar products. There are now more side-view platform video games than any other category." The origin of Pitfall was that I wanted to do a game with a running man. I had designed one and I liked the effect, but I had to make a game out of it. So I thought, well, he has to be running somewhere, so I drew a path, and that I had to put it into a place. So I picked a jungle. The idea took all of 10 minutes. It was a simple idea, a man running in a jungle, but it spawned a genre of side-scrolling games. It was the beginning of a genre. Also, I guess people just remembered it as being neat. But I never said it's a jungle in there, an early Pitfall slogan. Marketing came up with that, but that was part of our secret. 4 of us, and then 5, worked in this open lab environment where we all shared our 2 cents on everything. We had a very good synergy, and we played on that. Yeah. Yeah, they could have like make so many sequels for Pitfall, like just make Pitfall go through these levels in mountains, just through mountains in the background, or like a desert, and then like you have to avoid Indians or something like that. And because in 1980s political correctness wasn't that important, you could even put Indians in a video game. But yeah, I haven't played Pitfall 2, but there's like a sequel, Activision Pack 2, so maybe it's included there if it was released in Atari 2600 and not Atari 5200. Pitfall Harry's jungle adventure is fraught with danger. Some hazards will slow him down and rob your points, while others will stop him cold in his tracks. The lesser hazards are the open holes in the ground and rolling logs. The catastrophic hazards are the scorpions, fires, cobra rattlers, crocodiles, swamps, quicksand, and tar pits. These obstacles will not cost you points, but they will cost one of Harry's 3 lives. Original tips. As you set off on your first adventure with Harry, you'll notice 2 important features. The logs always run from right to left. That the replacement Harrys after Harry loses life drop from the tree on the left side of the screen. So to minimize the number of rolling logs to be jumped and the catastrophic hazards to be retried, simply run to the left. Okay, I guess they all levels loop. So it doesn't really matter. You don't have to backtrack. Pitfall Harry's trip must be made through a maze of surface and underground passages through the jungle. To capture all 32 treasures in under 20 minutes, Harry will have to use some of the underground passages. I suggest that you make a map of the terrain each time you play. Knowing the jungle and planning the best route to all treasures is the only way to ensure success time after time. Well, at least there's no like cross sections where it would become like 3-dimensional jungle. That would make a map quite important as well. So at least it's like linear pipe. Until you get really skilled at making Harry jump from croc to croc, you might wait until the crocodile's jaws are closed. Jump to the top of the first croc's head, then wait for the jaws to open and close again before jumping to the next one. Soon you'll be skipping across crocs like they were stepping stones in a stream. Okay, so you can jump when their mouth is open. You're running it right. Okay, well, yeah. River Raid. I think I played this one as well, but let's see. Mission. Codename River Raid. Jet down the river. Break the enemy blockade and blast the bridges to halt enemy troops' advances. Terrain. Codename River of No Return. An ever-changing, ever-challenging waterway. Expect huge islands, narrow channels, and treacherous bays crawling with enemy choppers, tankers, and jets. Weaponry. Codename Stratos Strafer. Your B-1 Strato Wing assault jet has been retrofitted with sophisticated rapid-fire guided missiles. Your mission is to score as many points as possible by destroying enemy tankers, helicopters, fuel depots, jets, and bridges before your jet crashes or runs out of fuel. Okay, there's a second player mode. Squadron 3 jets. Go to bank left, right, press left or right, accelerate, up, down, fire missiles, spacebar. So it's like vertical shooter, in other words. Okay, let's try it. Oh, you have to be careful not to. They're generous with fuel. Fuck. Very loud game. Chopper noise. Oh, should destroy the fuel. Oh, now they start moving. Fuck. Let's try one more time. I guess it's optional. Oh. Fuck. Shit. Damn it. It's a simple game, but still challenging one. And enemies are always placed at the same place. Damn it. I just keep crashing to the same. Oh yeah, I can go faster, I didn't realize. Okay, that's as far as I could go. Alright. You know, as a vertical shooter, that was alright. I've seen worse, like, at least that's simple to look at and not strain to your eyes, like some of the games, for example, in what's that game for NES? Action 52, yeah. So definitely it's better than Action 52. Let's check game history. Carol Shaw is not only known for designing one of the most popular games of all time, but also for being the first female game designer. Oh, interesting. I really don't like to make a distinction. Other people always made the distinction for me. I always just like being one of the designers. When I first started at Atari, I think they thought that I would make games for girls, like interior decorating games. Or something, because there weren't really any games for girls. But I liked just making games. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. The guy was an interior decorator. When I first came to Activision, I wanted to do a space game, but people told me that there were too many space games. So then I made a river game. Originally, the jet was going to be a boat, but the top part of the boat looked kind of funny, so it became a jet. The 2600 itself was the biggest difficulty. It was originally designed for tank and Pong and games like that. It had 128 bytes of RAM and 4K of ROM. I generated the landscape by a pseudo-random number generator. It's all in assembly language, and we spent all of our time just squeezing the code down to fit the system. Carol Shaw left Activision in 1984 after designing Happy Trails for the Intellivision and River Raid for the Atari 800 and Atari 5200. Her other credits include Checkers and 3D Tic-Tac-Toe for Atari. She also worked on Super Breakout and designed Polo, a game by Atari for the 2600 that was never released. She lives in California, is now retired and married to Ralph Merkel, one of the nation's leading researchers in nanotechnology. Huh. So I guess retired means retired from gaming business, because probably in 1996 she wouldn't be in a retirement age. Okay, original tips. The River of No Return holds many special challenges and dangers for would-be river raiders. You'll not only have to know your assault jet, but you'll need to have a good idea of your basic flight plan before you start. By knowing the river and pinpointing areas with the highest concentration of enemy and the most fuel depots, you'll have a better chance of surviving. Since the river is in sections, try jotting down notes for each important section as flight aids. Fuel is also a critical factor. When you're far up the river, fuel is scarce, so concentrate on flying to the next fuel depot and don't try to destroy every object. When you become really skilled, you'll find you can actually blow up a fuel depot right in the middle of refueling. That way you can gain the points and some fuel at the same time. Finally, remember that your main targets are the bridges. They're worth the most points. Yeah, I kinda like forget that most of the goal in these Atari 2600 games is like still like arcade, getting the top score, you know. Oh, it's all combined with all the different games here. Because, you know, in many games there's no ending, they just loop or get harder and harder, faster and faster, so just getting a high score was often the ultimate goal. Okay, Sequest. Nothing to do with the DSV Sequest 90s show. Okay. You're far out at sea, way out, where sunsets turn the ocean top into a kaleidoscope of colors, and you've discovered the greatest sunken treasure of the Western Hemisphere. But things don't sit right just yet. Your band of divers, laden with gold, haven't returned. Hardy lads though they are, they've been down too long. A little fishy, it seems. A pun. Best you cruise below and take a look-see for yourself. Gods, my roast is ruined. A little fishy. Battle stations. Prefer to take on divers. Killer sharks are nipping at their toes. And a nasty gang of scavengers subs is after your treasure. So, batten down the hatches. Man the torpedo tubes. Watch out your oxygen supply, and whatever you do, don't let those pirate subs steal away your gold. The object of Sequest is to retrieve as many treasure divers as you can, while dodging and blasting enemy subs and killer sharks. A hole before your oxygen runs out. Difficult word. Oxygen. Two players taking turn. Start the game with 4 subs in your fleet. Waiting to the horizon. Cruising into them with your sub. Soon you have retrieved your 6th diver. You'll hear a quick beep. Now surface and listen to 6 gold ingots worth valuable points. Back in the decks. So it's a little bit like the Octopus game of Game & Watch by Nintendo. Move sub left or right, hold down the left or right. Sub making immediate 180-degree turn. Press the opposite arrow key. Submerge, press down. Scan, press up. Fire torpedoes. Space per continuous fire, hold it down. Okay. Oh yeah, there's like special features. Oxygen. I like these sound effects. Where am I? Oh, there I am. Okay, I got one. Oh shit! So funny that, you know, touching a shark makes your whole submarine explode. Like, what are they made of? Where are you? Oh shit! Alright. Little. Oh, it's getting harder. At least there's no friendly fire, so I cannot kill my divers. I can just avoid these. Oh. Oh shit. Ah. We're like overlapping with the enemy. Oh shit. Shit. Oh, they're giving me 4. Am I supposed to collect these? Nah. That goes to the demo mode. Alright. It's a little bit like horizontal Space Invaders. Or some kind of a mod for that. was before video games, and we were in Phoenix. It was 110 degrees outside Fahrenheit. It's probably like 40 degrees in Celsius. Basically, you had your choice: pinball, pool, or foosball. What the hell is foosball? I played foosball. I have to check from Google because it's like soft. It's the table soccer. Yeah. Played football because I had played soccer within high school. There were all sorts of local tournaments, Cartwright said, and if you were good enough, you could earn enough to live on while playing football every night. Interesting. But the success of football didn't last, especially after the invention of video games. Cartwright dropped the game after college and was soon designing video games at Activision, a pioneer in the video game industry. In those days, the industry was brand new, said Cartwright, and we were creating it. Activision was the first software company. In those days, there was no such thing as experienced game designer. You couldn't even study microprocessor programming. It wasn't available in colleges when we first started. That's how new things were. And at least it was easy to apply for the job because they couldn't expect like 10-year experience in the field. They couldn't put any kind of experience in requirements. The idea for Sequest came to Cartwright after watching Das Boot, a popular movie about German U-boats. It's a good movie. Cartwright added, there were no submarine games on the market, so I started with a sub, added some stranded divers, enemy attack subs, and depleting oxygen supply, and killer sharks like the one in Fishing Derby. Looking back on those days with Activision, it was very memorable. We were treated like celebrities. We were driven around in limousines. We were flown in separate airplanes in case one crashed. It was fun while it lasted, but game development now is a team effort. Yeah. Okay. So as you'll quickly discover, you can join the sub club, reach at least 50,000 points overnight. It'll take confidence, sharp aim, and lots of practice. Also, here are a couple of important pointers that should help. As soon as you've picked up your 6th diver, start watching out for the enemy patrol sub. It's important to surface in the right spot, especially since the patrol sub sails faster and faster as the game progresses. And every time you surface, you increase the game's level of difficulty. So keep your surfacing to a minimum, with one exception, when you've got 5 divers aboard and your oxygen is running low. Why 5 and not 6? Surface to refill your oxygen supply. You lose 1 diver, but you can easily pick up 2 more to resurface and gain a lot of extra bonus points. Okay. Yeah, it's only if you want to like maximize the points. It's sometimes you have to do like shortcuts or play against the intended way. Losing in on purpose. Practice silent running. It's the best technique I know of really learn underwater navigation. What is silent running? Silent running. Meaning. Silent running refers stealth protocol for naval submarines, where a vessel shuts down non-essential systems and moves at slower speed to avoid acoustic detection by the enemy. Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the submarine or navy terminology. Okay, Sky Jinx. Jinx. Seems to be a vertical shooter. Pre-flight jitters, air sickness. Dumont got you edgy. Settle down, Dumont. Is that like a... Alberto Santos Dumont, the father of flight. Circling Eiffel Tower in 1901. Okay. You'll do just fine, but please read these instructions before takeoff. They'll help you put your nerves on autopilot. The amount of puns in these instructions is hilarious. And give you some real pointers on piloting to victory and the coveted Thompson Trophy. What the hell's a Thompson Trophy? Well, I don't care. It's probably some kind of World War II thingy. The object of this game is to race your P-41 racer through the pylon course in the shortest possible time without hitting pylons, trees, or balloonists. Okay, so it's not a shooter game. It's an acrobatic game. Randomly placed trees, polo grounds, acres, love field, speedway meadows, Thompson Tourney. You must fly to the right of the red pylon and the left of the blue pylon. There's a 3-second penalty each time you fly on the wrong side of a pylon. What if they put the red pylon to the right edge of the screen? Pylon count is shown above the timer on the screen and counts down each time you either successfully pass or crash into a pylon. So at the end of the race, the count remaining on the screen indicates the number of missed pylons for that race. We have long passed all pylons in the course. Accelerate, hold space bar. Yeah, you don't even use up or down. Notice how your race's altitude increases and your plane's shadow falls back. Using the plane's shadow as a gauge. How do you pronounce? I've always had trouble pronouncing words. Gauge. Gauge. Not gauge. 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 A gauge will help you to determine your airspeed. Plane banks when turning, just like real flying, your P-41 accelerates into turns, but it won't respond immediately when turning. This delayed reaction gives a more realistic sense of flying. Wow, realism. At least they're not like advertising it, the graphics as photorealistic. Like they would do all those like CD samplers for the first 3D games, like calling them photorealistic real life graphics. You also have to deal with and dodge other obstacles as well. Okay. cannot... I can't even press gas because I cannot, if I press gas I cannot get the pylons in order. My movement is not as fast as required. Well, I guess it is. Fuck. Okay. 48.4. Now what? Yeah, there's no like, well done or congratulations. You just have to reset. Play different mode. Brom. Can't make it. Damn it. What if I just go through? Does it count? How many balloonists there are? Must be taking place in like late or early 900s. Like Phileas Fogg's trying to go around the world. It's kind of boring because there's no like enemies or anything. Bob Whitehead, a video game pioneer and one of the founders of Activision, never liked sequels. I was never a sequel kind of guy. I always wanted to do something new, especially in those early days when we felt like we were pushing technology forward. However, Skiing, a previous game by Whitehead, was very successful and was also very popular among the Activision designers, and so Whitehead designed Skyjinx as a pseudo-sequel. They were sequels, though only in a gameplay style. The game featured a style that was distinctive to Whitehead, where the player can sit down and get close to a perfect score in only 30 seconds or so. I was also accused of having a short attention span, and some of my games certainly show that. That was my style, games that could take only a minute or so, but the game had to keep up my interest, if only for a short period of time. That's why they were filled with action. We felt like we were pushing technology forward and at the same time making games. It was very satisfying, but even though I enjoyed the challenge of programming, ultimately the motivation was the fans, the gamers themselves. I kept asking myself, is that guy enjoying the game? In those early days we got a fan mail all the time. In 1985, Whitehead left Activision to start Accolade, another video game company. It has 2 more sports games, Hard Power and Fourth and Inches, for the Commodore 64. Game designing requires young minds and young bodies, and you reach the point where, yeah, I already read that. Let's see the hints. The key to winning any race is speed, but in pylon air racing you'll have to match your speed with flying skills. That means becoming a good judge of distance and how soon or late to begin your turns. As your skills really progress, you become a precision pilot. You should almost be able to fly full throttle through most of a course without slowing down for pylons, trees or balloons. Cut your turns sharply and try to get as close to the pylons as you can. The path to becoming a sky star takes a lot of patience and plenty of crashes. But remember, even when you do have a mishap, and crash into something, quickly accelerate back into the race. You'll be surprised at how good your times can be even after a crash or two. Okay. And lastly we have Spider Fighter. Don't recognize this one. No idea what this game is about. Are those spiders? Now, don't get itchy, but there are bugs in this game. Lots and lots and lots of creepy, crawly, pesky spiders. And they want your fruit, your plump grapes, choose your oranges, picture perfect strawberries, and oh my gosh, there go your bananas. You've got to stop them, got to stomp them, got to smite them and fight them with all your might. Because if you don't, they won't just get your fruit, they'll get you. The object of the game is to protect your fruit or cart from insect fruit thieves, scoring points by exterminating the attackers. Oh, it's like Donkey Kong 3, where you have to use the get rid of the insects. Or not. Guided pellets. Pellets can be steered after they've been fired. One player game. Action begins when the first master nets descends. Your fruit orchard is growing oranges, grapes, strawberries, and bananas. You must protect each variety of fruit from waves of insects. 4 waves attack oranges, grapes, and strawberries. Then unlimited waves of insects attack your bananas. Each wave starts out with 3 fruit and 4 master nets. Begin each game with 4 blaster in reserve. To move your mobile blaster left or right, across the press left, right arrow key, and pull for the space bar. So it's like Space Invader type of game. Okay, let's try it. Whoa, it's going fast. Wait, those are spiders? Why are they shooting me? This feels like a space game than like a spider game. That's a spaceship. I don't really understand this. Why are they spaceship shaped? It's going very fast. I can't play it. It's just too fast. Okay, you get extra life. Yeah, I don't know. It seems that they like realized that there's too many space games, so just call it something else. This is obviously originally this was supposed to be a space game. Yeah, not a very good one. Activision Spider Fighter, Larry Miller also designed a popular Activision game intro. What the hell is this history? They completely forgot to interview about this game. Can't even say when it was made. What is this nonsense? Just didn't care. Maybe this is like lesser game that doesn't have like, nobody even remembers this one. The Master Nest ringleader and major fruit thief is protected from poison pellets by a white plant until it releases a spy pod. Sole aim is to keep you busy with bugs so that it can slip away with your fruit. The sneaky creatures scatter around and instruct Master Nest to release more insects. Master Nest cover fire. They also act as living shields, sacrificing themselves. Most dangerous accessories stinger track your blaster with the jingle-minded goal, destroying you. Okay. Weird. Okay, there's some tips. So they interviewed about the tips, but not about the history. As you can see, keeping a fruit orchard isn't exactly easy. Those bugs can really become a nuisance. You can never get rid of them entirely, but you can control them. There are various strategies you can experiment with, but one of the most effective that I have found is the first gun down the lone spy pod. You can exterminate that pod. You hold the flow of the reinforcements. Afterwards, you can pick up the rest of the attackers, leaving the Master Nest for last. Occasionally, the Master Nest will release a continuous stream of spy pods, and each one of your hits seems to be replaced. If this happens, you must immediately destroy the Master Nest and take your chances against a squadron full of angry stingers. Normally, though, it is best to destroy the slower spy pods and green widows that's over near the bottom of the screen before killing the Master Nest. Love like stinger is your worst enemy. Yeah, they could have like put like images of the enemies on these explanations. You know, I'm sure that these documents allow like images or screenshots and not only text, but I'm not quite sure. But yeah, disappointing that there's no history about the game. But yeah, that was all the games, and I think the emulation was spot on. No like slowdowns or weird graphical issues, so I think it's almost like 100% accurate. So yeah, well done. So thanks for watching.